Hello everybody. Today we have our 19th meetup, Artificial Intelligence for Everyone. My name is Dovydas, and today we have my name is Dovydas, and this is what I do. I mostly do two things: Tribe of AI, and I also work at Vinted as a machine learning team lead. Today we have our first online meetup, so it's a very different experience. Instead of me being in front of the audience, I'm at home, and I'm trying to make this first online meeting amazing. I'm really hopeful that it's going to be great. So let's begin. Before we begin, these are our sponsors, so thank them very much. They make this, they make Tribe of AI possible. Today we have only one item in our agenda: presentation about Tribe of AI 2.0, Reimagining AI Education. This week we have this month we have a different meetup, and because of a different meetup format, I got inspired and I decided that it's a lot of things are actually coming together, and I really wanted to make this one count. And as you know, I really care about AI and teaching people artificial intelligence. So therefore, I thought that it's a really great time to announce quite a few things which were in the works for a while, and tell you all about it. So first of all, so let's begin. First of all, as you may know, we have this worldwide outbreak of coronavirus. We have this really cool website which shows what's the distribution of people that are sick in what countries. So it seems that the spread is, especially in locations that are not in China, is the virus is spreading quite quickly. So the only responsible thing for me to do was to make this meetup online. I'm actually quite hopeful. The most important, I'm really hopeful that this virus will not take over the world, and that we will, as a humanity, we will manage to beat it, and the sooner the better. I know that Italy is under quarantine, and in China they take extreme measures. You probably all seen some videos in how Chinese are dealing super high tech and super serious tech is being employed to clean the streets, clean the buildings, and this pretty much make the whole blocks of the city sterile. So I'm really hopeful that we will manage to contain this outbreak, and the world will get back to normal soon. Meanwhile, we have done our part, and I was supposed to we were co-organizing this Lithuania AI 2020 conference. It is postponed right now until summer, so maybe some of you they're supposed to be participating. So thank you very much for your understanding that we are doing this to actually try to save lives and try to make it would be at this point really irresponsible to do a big event while the whole countries are being quarantined, and while people really suffer a lot, and we are trying to do our part. At the same time, I was supposed to participate in Google Cloud Next conference. So I guess bad news that the conference is cancelled. The good news is that it's not really cancelled. It's actually more of a transformed to a different online event, which is now free. So it's in my opinion, really cool conference, and now you can all participate for free. So I would advise you to take this opportunity and do that. It's going to take place next month, by the way. That said, I always presented meetups, bootcamp, and workshops before we begin. In the beginning of the presentations, I always told you about what meetups, bootcamp, and workshops, what these things are, why do we do them as a tribe of AI. So today it's going to be a little bit different. Today I'm just going to tell you what's new and why we make these changes. And really, I'm really hopeful that you are going to like these changes. First of all, the meetups. The meetups, today is the first remote meetup. And I expect that the meetups continue to be remote for the foreseeable, at least probably for a few months until the coronavirus threat passes. I actually view that as an opportunity that more people will be able to participate. I'm hopeful that we can find a way how to communicate. I've seen some people already starting to comment on the YouTube live video, so feel free to do that. Let's I always expect people to have a discussion about the things which I present, so let's try to use our quite amazing online tools for and take advantage of what we offer and try to make the best of what's available. So today is the first really online remote meetup. Hopefully many more people will be able to attend this way. We always were filming and live streaming the meetups, but today is the first time while you get the full benefit of participation, even if you are at home. The next thing is artificial intelligence bootcamp. So I have been telling you about the bootcamp, updating of the status of the bootcamp for at least 10 months now, and I'm so happy to say that after more than 9 months of studies, we have finally finished the bootcamp. 9 people have graduated, and already I am thinking about Bootcamp 2.0. It will begin in September. So if you are interested, I would advise contact the people who have participated in the bootcamp, talk with them about their experience, and maybe this is a thing for you. Maybe you will, maybe you want to participate in the second Bootcamp 2.0. By the way, I am if you have any questions, just contact me directly. I'll tell you everything that I have so far. It's not yet finished. I hope to improve quite a few things between the previous, the first bootcamp. It was, by the way, it was really amazing. Super happy the progress which every single one of these 9 people which they have made, and I think that really proud of them. And still there are some things which can be improved, and I'm hopeful that the Bootcamp 2.0 will be even better. The last thing is artificial intelligence workshops. The idea of the workshops is that you can learn artificial intelligence with no prerequisites. The principles which we have is that we do not create content. We aim to be very, very practical. That means we do not really care about things that are important in fundamentally important. I guess we care about things that are fundamentally important, but we really focus on these things that make a difference while you're actually doing this in your job, or doing this thing as a startup, doing this thing in Kaggle competition. It's very important, you know, if you're a race car driver, it's very important to understand how the engine of the car works. But there are lots of great drivers that have, you know, basic understanding of how the engine works. Some of them, like some drivers, you know, really study this thing, like understand the inner workings, make it their strength, but it's not really super required. If you are a good driver, it doesn't matter how good your, you know, understanding of whatever tire pressures are. If you can drive fast, that's pretty much all that matters. Like Formula 1 drivers do not take a test after the race, and they don't have a multiple choice. So same rules apply here. If you can do the job, it's in the end it's what matters. If you can do the job well, then like most likely you will have to learn fundamentals, but we aim to really maximize your this practical knowledge which you will be using in your like day-to-day work or day-to-day life. The third thing is that we aim to maximize your success rate. What does that mean? That means we really care that if you started our workshops, we really care that you will finish them and that you will finish them successfully. Finally, we use Agile and Lean principles. So these things like Agile and Lean work really well in startups. They kind of revolutionize how we build software. And I believe that the same ideas, like with some adaptation, can work in teaching really, really well. So therefore, in workshops and also in the artificial intelligence bootcamp, we always learn in sprints. Each sprint has a very concrete objectives, and we try to achieve these objectives during the sprint. So these are the main principles of our workshops. The workshops have seven different classes, 6 classes plus S class. The first, like the classes A, B, C, D, E, F, these are learning classes. Here you learn advanced deep learning, you learn deep learning fundamentals, you learn advanced Python. The S class is different because you do artificial intelligence projects. So the S class is all about, then you reach, you know, the like when your knowledge of deep learning is good enough that you can actually deliver value working on the projects, you graduate to the S class. So we in fact will have an S class starting pretty soon, hopefully this month, and like these people will hopefully build amazing AI projects, maybe participate in Kaggle competitions, etc. The other classes are designed in such a way that they can be modular. You can, if you are a data science expert, it doesn't make sense for you to join the D class. You will immediately join the C class and immediately start learning machine learning, because you build on your existing data science knowledge. So you can join at any point depending on your current level, which of course depends in like what you studied and in what field do you work right now. So that's the structure of the classes. Then we have the structure of our learning sprints. So we spend about 8 hours, or actually 8 hours or more per week on learning. We have meetings every Saturday, and we learn at home and we sing at meetings. Last time I presented that workshops have several problems, and most of the participants of the last meetup took a poll, and they voted for my proposed solutions, how we can fix this like how we can improve the motivation and the success rate of the workshop participants. I really love that so many of you cared and wrote me like long explanations of why you think your solution works, and I really learned a lot. I learned that the community really cares about these workshops. I really learned that this is very interesting and very important for many of you, and it kind of feels to me right now that this is the real center of what Tribe of AI does. That this thing, the workshops, meetups, very important. That's how people learn about Tribe of AI and what Tribe of AI does. Workshops, very important because they actually deliver value. They transform you from like not being able to do machine learning to being able to do machine learning. Bootcamps are also very important. They also change lives, but bootcamps are quite like they are a little bit of this exclusive club. They have very limited seat count. The bootcamp is no more than 12 people. So therefore, it's not like by definition, it has very high impact on a few people, but like not a lot of people can participate. Workshops are different because we have very high impact, and at the same time they are accessible to a lot of people. So my proposed solutions were like I try to think of a way how to motivate people with money, and like a few people got the wrong message. It is not about the money. Like I believe me, it doesn't really pay that well to get a few euros from you. So like what I want to make super clear, that there will always be a free option for the workshop. I will always, like I promise you, I will always make a way how to fully complete the workshop for free. What I wanted to achieve with these proposed solutions, I really wanted that you will help me. Like I've seen this thing in the bootcamp. People paid a lot of money for the bootcamp, and the success rate is like pretty amazing. It's like the bootcamps are much more intense than workshops. They require about twice the amount of work. Like it's 8 hours per week for a workshop. It's quite a lot, right? It's quite hard to find 8 hours per week. So bootcamp students had to spend at least 9 hours actually being on site every week. In addition to, traveling almost every day, in addition to working at home almost every day, they will have to be on site for 9 hours. So this super high intensity, I estimated that like we would lose at least twice the amount of people which we lost in like we actually just lost 2 people in the bootcamp, and for very, very explainable reasons. Actually, both of the people, like I totally understand why they couldn't finish the bootcamp, and probably not like it's like very, very good excuse. So like overall, the bootcamps are super successful, and I think like one of the way that people had this vested interest, they didn't want to feel that they're wasting their money. And like workshops also delivered like so much value, but people seem to be like, oh, I'm getting this totally for free, and if I decide to drop out, there will be a new class like in 3 months. So they don't feel like this responsibility for showing their best effort, for doing their best work while doing the workshop. And this kind of has this not super nice cascading effect, because if people around you are not doing their best, it kind of doesn't feel that you should be doing your best either. So these my proposed solutions are only to increase the motivation. I am still not 100% sure of what path I will go for. So I would like to ask you today to also participate in the same survey. Just scan this QR code and you will be able to like vote on like my proposed solutions for fixing the AI workshops. Overall, also if you have some comments, you can also comment in the like your other thoughts section. So please do that after today's presentation. Please take a few minutes to like to help us make this artificial intelligence workshops better. So leaving the QR code for a few more seconds. I also have some additional changes for the workshops. Now that the bootcamp is over, I can spend much more time thinking of how workshops should be better. Also, I have like a ton of lessons learned from the bootcamp, how to make the workshops better. So I'm going to increase the workshops in scope, increase them in quality, and add a remote option. So what each of these things mean? So increasing in scope means that you will have many more options. Like you right now you have pretty much just a curriculum which everybody has to follow in the same way. You will have, like, of course gradually, but over time, I'm building this additional layer that of recommended sprint goals. So let's say you have you were learning advanced Python and you just learned about these objects and data. It's some kind of like data structure, but there is a very cool paid course. I'm like never adding paid courses to the required section, but in the recommended section there is this amazing paid course, and like people who want to like increase their knowledge in this specific area, they can choose this thing. Like, for example, I took this course, I really liked it, and I don't want to rely solely on just free resources, and like you will get an option to see many more of these recommended resources, which might be paid, might be free, but not required to finish a sprint. I will also add an extra section which will have like material which is nice to have, not like recommended, not as strong as recommended, but extra. So if you want to like learn not only the like key objective in the sprint, but also learn like a few things around it, like, or things that are connected to what you're learning in the sprint. So I will use the extra section just for that. Increasing quality. Some of the courses, like over time, I'm finding better and better courses. So like increasing quality means that I will review some of the courses, which like none of them are bad. We pretty much like over a year and a half while we are doing these AI workshops, I have weeded out the worst courses pretty immediately. I have weeded out the bad ones, the bad ones in like the first few months. So all of the courses right now are at least like average in quality. I would like to move to a place where I only have good or great courses in the like sprint in the course curriculum. So every single class should have like really only great courses, and like these average courses should be gradually removed. Finally, and I think this is the biggest change, I'm going to add a remote option. This remote option, like for the first time, we are going to be able to have classmates that live in different towns and or different cities. and that cannot really go to like this meeting location every week. So you can join remotely and be part of a discussion. We used to be like doing these ad hoc like live streams of the workshops. Right now, I expect people to be actively participating in them and like being part of the workshop, even if you being part of this team which is doing the workshop instead of just learning on your own. So I think this is like, especially among the like coronavirus outbreak, I think this is going to be very important and a very game-changing addition. So these are the main changes I have for workshops, and I actually feel that they are like, the changes are big enough that they deserve to have a special occasion. So I am going to rebrand Tribe of AI workshops to Tribe of AI Academy. It really, like, when I started workshops, I had this like maybe about 5 times smaller operation in mind. Over the last like year and a half, it really increased in scope. It really increased in like in the value that people get, and like the workshop's name maybe wasn't the best because people sometimes got confused, like why, like is it like a full day workshop, like is it just one day? Workshops meals, like it feels small. Academy is a proper name for this type of initiative, and I really hope that you're going to like this new name, and I really hope that you're going to like these new changes which I'm bringing to the Artificial Intelligence Academy. So now our starting slide will look like that: Meetups, Bootcamp, and Tribe of AI Academy. That's actually not all. I am like during this pretty much during this year, since January, I was thinking a lot about why Tribe of AI, why people like Tribe of AI, what is our unique sauce, and why are we being able to deliver this like why we are able to teach people to get these new skills, in my opinion, so successfully. And I kind of thought about these 3 things. So first of all is the social aspect. Second one is about shared knowledge and experience, and third one is about helping others grow. So we are all quite connected, but I feel we deserve separate, they deserve to be separated, because they all have this unique flavor attached to them. So first of all of these findings are from like now rebranded Tribe of AI Academy and from Tribe of AI Bootcamp. So I noticed like that people who are succeeding, they are embracing the social aspect. We, in the end, it's in the name, we are Tribe of AI. We are not it's all about being part of the social circle of people who really care about the same topics, namely artificial intelligence, that you care. And since we have the same like shared state, like we are learning the same thing the same week, and like we have the same problems, so this enables us to like connect and help each other to understand this thing, to even it's like it's hard to tell you about this, like put that in words, because it's hard to grasp this concept. But even sharing, seeing that it's not only you that finds this like concept difficult to understand, It's even, you know, like having this shared state with somebody, like, oh, the whole team feels that this is a difficult subject. Let's all spend some time like learning about it. So let's all, you know, like, oh, I got like part of a solution. Everybody, look, I found this like thing that works. Now I need your help to finish this like exercise till the end. So this social aspect, not only in learning but also in things like finding a job, in sharing your experiences in like this job search or whatever, in Kaggle competitions, or in like reading scientific papers. This like shared knowledge or social aspect really helps. The second thing is shared knowledge and experience. So it's very much related to the first one. We all, as I said, we are all connected. I've seen people who grow extremely fast while pretty much they don't seem to focus on themselves, but they seem to be, you know, like embracing this role as, I am the person who helps my teammates. I am the one which, you know, like I might not be the smartest person in the team, but you know, I'll give you my best shot. If you have a problem, I'll spend half an hour trying to understand like what the problem is, and I'll try to help you out whatever I can. So it's really amazing to see that these people who put their teammates first, or who are actively trying to contribute to their team, in my opinion, they outperform even the like seemingly smarter people, or people who can do amazing things on their, like, I'm not trying to take away from people who are like amazing individual contributors, but this sharing of knowledge and experience, taking part in other people's struggles or in other people's learning process, feeling this part of it, learning team, I think these people found, you know, this amazing, unique way to grow super fast. And this one really transitions to the last one, help tribe members grow. So helping, understanding other people's problems and sharing your knowledge, and helping your team, or not even team but tribe members, grow. I've seen so many people who are, you know, like somebody like asks somebody in the like first like F class or E class asking for quite naive questions, and I've seen so many examples of people taking time to explain, like, look, this is not how this works, but you got like the right start. Now you need to understand that this thing is like connected to that thing, and this is how you get them. Like, this is how you get a deep learning model. This is why it's not working for you, and this is the line which you should change. But like ultimately, these two resources should really help you out, because they helped me out a lot. So helping tribe members grow really improves the value for everybody. It improves the value of a tribe for the person who is helping. It really improves the value for the person who is like receiving help. Ultimately, like, this shared information is captured, and this shared information will forever help out the tribe members who face similar problems. So the last part was actually not yet great. As you know, we mainly use actually free tools for all of what we do. We use meetup.com, we use Facebook, and we use Slack. And none of these tools are great for really retaining the knowledge that's shared. So if it's a Facebook group, it's usually like, it's not really designed to discuss like longer or more complex questions. It's usually about some like factual details, or like 95% of the time it's about sharing some kind of cool article or sharing some kind of event that's going to happen. Slack, on the other hand, is very, very real time, and we communicate a lot in Slack. And this is like the important information, these kind of nuggets of informational gold, of like this really important question which was asked, that's super valuable, and equally important answer. They are just getting drowned in the noise, and it's super hard to find this information even, you know, after a few days, and pretty much impossible to find it after a few weeks of, you know, normal conversation flow on Slack. So all of these limitations led me to rethink what we actually need as a tribe to really grow and to really be able to do these three most important things that we do. Initially, I thought about creating a forum, like having it like as an addition to Slack. Like, okay, so in the forum we can ask these like longer or more complex questions, and we don't lose the information because forum retains the information. It's like easily searchable. So forum initially looked good. Then I started thinking, okay, so what about articles? Like we create articles, and like it's a shame if all the articles are only being generated when somebody asks a question or somebody like posts a thread. So like forums, they're lacking in feature. They're lacking in this feature that we don't have this more of a like standalone format. Like you post something, look, okay, I made this thing. Now please let's talk about this thing which I made. So our forums are not really designed for that. They like ultimately they are good for what they do, but like then I thought, okay, so we should have also like a website. So website and website plus forum plus Slack for real-time communication, plus some kind of like plugins to like restrict access to some part of the website, so we can continue to talk about, you know, like things in private. So it's all kind of it will be too much, but luckily I have found a tool which actually covers pretty much everything that I need. It's called Mighty Networks, and like this means that we will have a new platform. The address, it's already live. We have some people already beta testing it. It's far from finished. We are super early right now. I will post a link to register to this platform on like Facebook, Meetup, and Slack. Like feature wise, it has all what I would ask if I would be able to you know, build my own team to build this thing, and I would be like the product owner of this team. So the feature set, it's all there. It has pretty much everything that I need, and I would like to spend just a few minutes showcasing you how to use it and how this thing will grow in the future. So first of all, when you register, this is how it will look like. The most important things are on your left. The single most important thing is courses. The courses has what we call right now Artificial Intelligence Academy and also Artificial Intelligence Bootcamp. So as you see, like Bootcamp 2.0 is already being worked on. It also has all the classes which are available, which they're available in the Artificial Intelligence workshops. Now it's the Artificial Intelligence Academy. So for example, if you join the B class. You can, by the way, you can do that freely by yourself. There is nothing, there is no like restriction. These whole things are open. So you have the overview. What is a B class? What you'll get from B class? What to expect from you? What you should know. So you should know intermediate Python, data science fundamentals, machine learning fundamentals, some helpful links. And then you have two main sections. So the sections are sprints. So here you see all of the sprints of the B class. So you can click individual sprint, check the resources there, complete the resources, move to the next sprint. Finally, you have, so after the sprints, you have a project. So the project has like 2 sprints for the project, the requirements, and also the final presentation for the sprint. So it has the same same or more information what the previous AI workshops had, and it's going to be like, this is the place where I'm going to be continually updating. Remember, I'll be adding the recommended section, I'll be adding the extra section. So these classes, these courses are the place where it's all going to happen. So let me get back. So here there are the courses. The second most important thing is teams. So teams correspond, those of you who have participated in the AI Academy or AI Bootcamp. So these things are the same as Slack, like private Slack channels, which we have. So as you see, all of the teams are private. Teams are for us as a group doing some course together. So let's say we have, like, I'm not going to show you the members of the course. Let's say we are like 11B2 team. So it's a second generation team in the B class that meets at 11. That means that we are doing B class. We are learning, like these 7 people are learning together in the B class, and we meet every week to like discuss the most important topics on Saturday 11 a.m. We will create more of these classes as like we continue the transfer from current Slack, and we are creating new classes. So this is where you register to Tribe of AI workshops. This is where you are going to end up part of these teams. Third most important thing is topics. Topics are a list of like basically topics about which we can discuss, write articles, write questions, do some other kind of resource. So we have like different, we have some topic, like if you tag it with this topic, it's about finding a job, preparing your LinkedIn, building your portfolio, doing your CV and stuff like that. This is about learning Python. This is about learning deep learning. This is about conferences. This is strictly for beginner questions. So if you know you have a question, but you have no idea, is it like a deep learning question? Is it a Python question? Is it an academy question? So you're not sure yet. You're just starting out your journey. So this is a beginner question. So all of these things are going to be tagged, and they are going to be grouped and preserved forever in these topics. So it's going to be the part which is mostly missing, that we do not have the way to preserve information at this point, but we are going to have these courses and also these topics. They're all my, I create a lot of notebooks during the workshops. I create a lot of notebooks during the bootcamp, and like all of these notebooks are somewhere in my Google Drive, but I'm not sharing it I might be sharing them, you know, like pretty accidentally with people, like, oh look, this is a cool example, and I want to share these this information in a more systematic way, in a way where you can take advantage of like this is like an amazing example of how, let's say, closures work, or how closures compare to like classes. And like, I remember building this notebook, but I don't know myself where it is. So in this new format, we will know exactly where it is, and everybody, like every single part of the community, can take advantage of that. So as I mentioned before, I'm going to share the registration link in Facebook, Meetup, and Slack. This is going to be the place for our community. We are going to post events there. We are going to post new teams there. We are going to update courses there. It's all going to be contained in this single platform. By the way, it has a mobile app too, so you can have it on the go. It also has pretty decent chat. So if, let's say, you are part of an A class and you want to ask somebody like in the A class a question, you can have this A class chat. It's right now, because we don't have an A class, because I haven't invited any A class students, so we don't have any chat going on here. But here you can like specifically target your questions for like about an A class. You can also have team chats inside, like, so those are going to be the same as Slack channels right now. So there are different levels of chats targeting different people. So it will have pretty much everything that we have so far, plus a lot of new fun features, and I really hope that you are going to like it. For now, let's move to the questions and answers. So I'm going to check out the questions which you posted. So I have a question: what's the difference between the second bootcamp from September and the second AI studies in Code Academy? So yeah, I'm not going to do the Code Academy bootcamp. I am only going to work on this September bootcamp. So it's kind of like two different courses. So mine is going to start on September. Yeah. So yeah, hard for me to answer this question. I know that we have a few seconds delay, so if you have a question, I'm going to just wait for a few seconds. If you have more questions, please post them on the live stream on the YouTube live. And of course, if you have more questions, you can reach out to me on our new platform, and I'm still going to keep Slack active for at least a month, maybe a little bit more, but all the like usual discussions are going to move from Slack to the new Tribe of AI platform. So thank you very much for watching this live. I hope that you liked our new type of meetup. Like, I hope that our first online meetup is successful. I've seen some, I see some more questions popping up, so I'm going to answer them offline. And yeah, thank you very much once again. See you next month. Bye bye.